Ivan Pants here, but you won't hear me complain.
Cartoons. Mama had a chicken. Mama had a cow. Dad was proud. He didn't care how.
Oh, so you don't care about taking your wife to the hospital then? Okay then let's focus on wondering if the mom can give birth to more cows and chickens and sell them for profits to get filthy rich! Cow and Chicken is one of those shows I respect more than I like. Kinda like Dexter, but I do like this show more than Dexter. Like Johnny Bravo, I had low expectations going into this one, and just like Johnny Bravo, they actually did exceed my expectations. So, what's Cow and Chicken about? Well, that title kinda gives it away. It's about a chicken that's 11 years old and a cow that's 7 doing whatever in any single episode. They want to have Cow and Chicken dance in weenie costumes? They can. They want to have Chicken go to a human person and think that he's one of the human prisoners?
Butts and taters, please. Hey, this isn't pork butts and taters.
Yeah, it's that kind of show. The show that honestly is hard for me to review. I usually like to review story. Stories are usually my thing. Cow and Chicken, well, at least finishes the stories, unlike Dexter. This show can pretty much have them doing whatever they want in any given episode. Cow, I guess you could argue that she's similar to Dee Dee, but unlike Dee Dee, I never got annoyed by Cow at all. Except for one particular thing, the voice. You see, Charlie Adler does the voices for both Cow and Chicken and also the red guy, and I guess he didn't try to change his voice enough to sound like a girl, because when I watched this show as a kid, I thought that Cow was a boy. I mean, listen to her voice.
My play is finished. La 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 la. All done. Finished. Completed.
That to me sounds like a boy, and yes, I am aware that a boy voices her, Charlie Adler, but in the realm of voice acting, you need to change up your pitch if you want to sound like a different gender, and don't give me the excuse that one gender can't voice the other gender while sounding like said gender. Tara Strong voices Timmy Turner in The Fairly OddParents, and Timmy in that show does sound like a boy, or in The Simpsons with Bart, a boy voiced by a woman. And the other way around with one of the girl kids in Bob's Burgers voiced by a boy. You could say for Cow, I should be able to tell it's a girl because of the others, but I was a kid that didn't know the full difference with cows and bulls. I mean, in Nickelodeon's Barnyard, Otis, the male protagonist, is a male cow with udders, even though in real life males are bulls and bulls don't have udders. At times, Cow kinda sounds like Double D from Ed and Eddie, and as a kid, I thought that Double D was a girl as well. Cow and Double D don't exactly have the same personalities. Cow is more similar to Ed from Ed and Eddie than Double D. I don't have much to say on the mom and dad in this show. They're just like the stereotypical parents in animation that don't show who they look like, kinda like Tom's owners in Tom and Jerry, or the Oh Yeah cartoon episodes of The Fairly OddParents, or season 1 of The Loud House. Though I think for Cow and Chicken, they do have a little fun with this. In their cartoon episode, it's shown that the parents don't have upper bodies, which is funny in hindsight. Speaking of the pilot episode, there's the devil.
Hello, I'm Rear Admiral Floyd.
No, that's the name that the devil was given later on in the show. His name at first was...
It's me, the devil.
The devil, or red guy, whatever you prefer to call him, is the best character of the show. Though I still love Cow and Chicken in and of themselves, but the red guy makes it amazing. His mannerisms and his way of dialogue is just the best. Charlie Adler put most of his talent into him. If you like Discord from My Little Pony or him from the Powerpuff Girls, chances are you'll love the red guy or devil. The show definitely is not afraid to show off its grosser edge. But I understand why. This show wanted to be Ren and Stimpy. Both Cartoon Network and Disney both tried to copy off Nickelodeon's Ren and Stimpy. Disney failed because it gave us Schnookums and Meat, one of the worst cartoons of the 90s, because it didn't want to be Ren and Stimpy despite ripping off Ren and Stimpy. Cow and Chicken went all the way, but it wasn't just gross, it was actually funny. But the reason why I respect Cow and Chicken more than I like it, because without Cow and Chicken, I don't think that we would have gotten the second animation renaissance that we are still experiencing to this day. Back in the 90s, restrictions in animations were starting to be lifted, because before DuckTales came out in 1987, a good 80% of cartoons were nothing more than toy-driven shows or educational schlock. Everything had to be watered down. Parent groups were in charge of what their children were allowed to watch. There's a reason that the 1970s is the worst decade in animation, because you could not do anything fun at that time. Shows like Ren and Stimpy started to loosen these censors, and Cow and Chicken helped loosen them even more. Without Cow and Chicken in them themselves, we probably wouldn't get Courage the Cowardly Dog, Powerpuff Girls, and even Adventure Time. I still really do find that surprising because looking back at Cow and Chicken's actual episodes, they seem more calm in today's world. But back then, they were crazier. Then again, The Simpsons at one time was considered edgy, so there's that. When you have the devil constantly be the antagonist to Cow and Chicken, you get some interesting ideas. One episode is called Happy Meat, and the title card is just butts. But the plot of that episode is that the devil at the school that Cow and Chicken go to serves everyone nothing but ketchup. And Cow and Chicken are tired of this, so they won a competition against the devil to showcase what real food is like. And here's something funny that I learned when rewatching this show, because notice that Chicken wants to eat meat.
I want meat. I am gonna run her ketchup kitchen out of business. Wanna try my ketchupy fish balls?
No food for you either! You're both gonna starve!
Before this review, I thought that chickens were vegetarians. You know, didn't eat meat. But no, chickens are omnivores. So Cow and Chicken is more right about its animals than I thought. Then again though, chickens don't normally eat meat, but they can eat meat. Oh, by the way, that episode had a joke about a guy implying that he fucked a chicken. And apparently that's Chicken's grandparents.
Honey, you're the greatest.
Maybe I think I know the answer now on how the mom gave birth to a chicken. And most of the episodes of the show are like that. Cow and Chicken do something random, the red guy tries to ruin their lives. Cow and Chicken want to be in the movies, the red guy tries to ruin it. Cow and Chicken are in a circus, red guy tries to ruin it. More or less stories like that for 4 seasons. I don't really know if I can give this show a full pass. Like I said, I found this show to be funny, but I wasn't that big of a fan of the gross out. This show isn't as gross as Ren and Stimpy, but you could tell it definitely wanted to be Ren and Stimpy. I'm more of a story type of person. This show doesn't really have that much story. Cow does become a superhero a lot to free her older brother from certain situations like prison, or any of the devil's schemes, or that one band episode Buffalo Gals about lesbians. Oh yeah, that's an episode. Let's end this review talk about that episode. This episode only aired once, and never re-aired on Cartoon Network.
We're the Buffalo Gals!
Oh, the Buffalo Gals! A motorcycle riding gang that randomly bursts into people's homes and chews on their carpets.
Yeah, I can see why it only aired once. Now, is this episode insulting to the LGBT community? Yes and no? About the yes.
Say, nice outfit, kid. You fit right in with a gang like ours. Here's my card.
Yeah, you can tell that this is stereotypical. It's like the gay guys written in Family Guy, with their accents. Why am I also saying no on the insults? Because this episode was made in the 90s. Back when LGBT people weren't given rights. Gay marriage wasn't even legalized yet, and this is kind of how people view LGBT people back then. If you made this episode today, you'd be hated by the red guy in back. You would be a homophobe. When many things first start off in animation, they usually do start off bad, but lead to better things. For example, in The Legend of Korra, we don't get anything LGBT positive until the final episode's final scene, but it broke the mold and helped lead to things like openly gay characters in the Loud House. Friendship is Magic showed LGBT characters in Season 9, and that will probably help open up more better LGBT representation in the future. In Cartoon Network's case, Cow and Chicken doing this probably did eventually lead to shows like Steven Universe having their first ever gay marriage in a kids cartoon, or Clarence and We Bare Bears with LGBT couples. Cow and Chicken definitely broke molds and was definitely important for Cartoon Network's history, but as for going back to this show, it's hard to do. Probably has the Seinfeld is unfunny trope, but I still did laugh at this show. But I bet it was better in the 90s when the world was a different place. I do have to end this review now because there really is not much else new that I could say about the show, and I don't like repeating myself. I'll give this show a pass and that it's a good cartoon, but it's not something I would go back to. The people behind this show, by the way, also made another cartoon called I Am Weasel, which just happens to be the very next cartoon in this marathon.
Coming up next.
But round every corner he's likely to find.
I am Weasel. I am Weasel. I am Weasel.